Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. Last Friday, I was fortunate enough to be able to pull one of the Wildhearts developers off to the side during their community night and got him to walk me through how to play their solo mode that they have. First time I've ever seen anything like this in a TCG, where literally you have physical cards in real life and you have your deck versus this AI essentially opponent. They have a deck specially made for this. When you draw the cards, it tells you where to play them, tells you where to play their familiars and everything else. Super cool. So definitely watch this video and check it out. This will be included in their Kickstarter that at the time of release should be out or should be going. So it came out on July 7th. So definitely go check that out. I'll have a link in the description below down there. But this is really cool. I've never seen anything so unique like this before. I mean, I've played games at home with myself all the time, testing out new decks and things like that in other TCGs. But there's always that one-sided aspect of it where you're not always equally balanced. So this is really cool that they just take that whole bias out the window and you have something to play against with just yourself at home. So really cool.
So what we have created is a opportunity to either play this solo, either to test your deck. If you just, your significant other or someone you play with is out, you can play this against your deck. And so this has multiple difficulties. We will play the base version tonight. I'll kind of show you kind of the ropes. In the Foundation Edition Kickstarter, Valentina will be available. And then as we continue to support the product in set one, set two, and so on, there'll be others. You, as the player, are playing as a tamer in Wild Hearts. And so what we have done is we have taken some of those characters in the lore, people who are competing in our world, and we have brought them into an automatic player. This card right here is her character card. This replaces what your inspiration would be. And then every Tamer challenge comes with their own named familiars. So you have Furion is one of her familiars, and then you also have Aces. Her deck still a 30 card deck that is going to function the same way that a normal deck would. So she will have a hand. We will deal out some cards here in a minute. And then she is going to flip over a card. That card is going to become her resource. If it has the support function, just like in a normal game with human players, that will become her support. The way that she deploys during the deployment phase is she has this deployment deck over here. And what is special to Valentina, for the most part, a lot of the rules from Tamer Challenge to Tamer Challenge, the core rules will stay the same. There are some things that will change that are specific to each tamer. So in this particular one, Valentina, at the very beginning of the game, she will start with initiative. The other thing that is unique to Valentina is Furion will always deploy first. And so if you look over here at these deployment cards have both Furion and Aces, and you will see above Furion's, put it over here for you. So Furion has a 2, Aces has a 3. And so if this card was flipped first, because Furion deploys first, Furion would go to field 2. If this card was second, then Aces would trigger. But as you can see with the characters, you have this little arrow at the bottom of the characters. It says flip this familiar when Valentina. And so this is a way that we have built in difficulties. So they start with the flip side. So if you will see, Furion has a base power of 5. His flip side, he has a base power of 6. His ongoing also gets stronger. Same thing with Aces. So Aces becomes a 5, and then his debut and his ongoing also become stronger.
Okay.
And then lastly, Valentina. Valentina, if a card cannot be played, so she has if a 3-cost card or a 2-cost card, and then she also has a flip side, which in that case, all three would trigger. So the last thing to be aware of when you're looking at a tamer's challenge is you're going to look at their creativity of a challenger. And what this is this is the top right corner. In Valentina's case, that is a 2. So if you look at Valentina's top right corner, that is known as her creativity level. This is going to be our automated way that a player would pass. And so if she is unable to play cards equal to that creativity level, in the case of Valentina, it's 2, then she would pass. She has 2 fields. She has the watercolor desert and the ranch. The watercolor desert would be the inactive field in the first one. And then you would take your 2 fields and the ranch card. You would shuffle those up like you would in a normal game. And then you would deploy that. If an effect were to shuffle up or to bring a card in, the watercolor desert would be the card that would get shuffled in. And then because she has initiative, she will draw 1 extra card. So she'll
Okay.
start the game with 8. All right. So you have decided to keep your card. So the first thing we're going to do is the upkeep. So we are going to pick a resource to put in our resource row. And again, with Valentina, you're just going to flip over the top card and you're going to place it in her resource. If it had a support, it would go face up.
Gotcha.
Anytime, in case it does come up, anytime a card has support, that will be the first resource that she spends. Otherwise, it would just go, you can work your way out.
And so she counts as a resource as well for like doing cards as well.
Correct. This is a mastery, so this would be from a game term perspective. This is equivalent to your inspiration.
Okay.
It does not have the effect that your inspiration does, but for counting as 1 resource at the beginning of the game, she has 2 resources.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and we'll shuffle this up. So the way this is going to work is you're just going to flip over her deployment card right here in this corner. And then whatever number is in Furion's corner, you're going to deploy Furion to that field. So you'll deploy yours, then we will flip over another card. This is just a randomization.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, we'll see if we can combat this Furion with our Chrism here. And he gains block, so he goes sideways. All right. And then I draw again then for aces.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which is also 1. Interesting.
Okay. Go ahead and read that debut.
Yeah, so move each friendly creature, so including familiars, to a space adjacent to this field. Yeah, so he'll go to the middle then.
And then if aces were to go in the middle, you would go to whichever field is the highest VP.
Right. Okay. And then, let's see. We will go over here with our Infernander, so that way, debut, we're winning the field, so we'll get our +1 power. Yep, I'll just throw it in chat over there for the purposes of this.
So go ahead and flip the first card. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to check to see can she play it. So what is the cost of that card?
So 2, so she's got it.
Okay, so you will go ahead and, as in a normal game, you would, yep, exactly.
All right, play this to the field with the highest power familiar, which will be... Oh, we didn't figure out which field's active yet. Everything. Okay, cool. So then he'll go here with Furion as Guardian and a KO effect. Gain the top card of your deck as an exhausted resource, and a friendly Might Familiar gains its play cost as power. Ooh, that's awesome.
So just a note, because we do have cards that still any effect that you cannot do. So for instance, the whole play a field to the highest, anything that you can't do or that would be italicized that is strictly for Valentina. Everything else on the card you absolutely can steal, and you can use that in a normal game.
Okay.
So all of her cards are written in a way that you are able to take And you're able to use. Okay. So that
But
was the end of her turn. So now it is over to you.
okay, let's see. So we're currently winning our 2 side fields here. I kind of want to win this ranch here. If you win this field by 4 power, 4 or more power, gain 1 VP. So we're winning by 4 currently. For each empty space you have in this field, aces gain +1 power. So he's at a big 07. So we need to put like 3 extra power over there at least. Yeah, this seems kind of interesting to do. So I'll spend 2, and I'm going to play this Gel Ice over here. It's got speed and then debut. Choose an opponent, take a random card from their hand, which is really interesting. So just like we were just talking about with the Infernander. So I'm going to take a card, add it to my hand, or attempt to. There we go. Come on. Oh, all right. Does not seem to want to let me. That's the issue, with mods. But so I don't have to pay attention to that top part. Play this to the inactive field because that is restricted for her. But I do get to use this card, which normally not allowed in regular play. So being able to use this for myself is pretty cool. All right, and then so my Gel Ice had speed. So after that, I will just So I gotta be careful because any cards I draw from her from moving forward that are 2 or 3 is going to trigger these. Lowest power creature +1 power, which I think is. Oh no, that will be the. That will be aces technically, so I gotta be careful of that. And then 2 cost cards move Valentina's highest power creature from an inactive field to the highest value active field. So mainly that first one. If we draw any 3 cost cards, we won't be winning this field by 4 power anymore. I think that's okay though. Like if I don't get that 1 VP, not the end of the world. So after speed, I will go ahead and pass. So we'll go back to her turn. So she has no resources, but we still attempt to draw cards and play them, right?
Correct. You will play cards to her creativity. So you'll flip the next 2 cards.
Okay, so she can't do that. So then she will do exactly what I was afraid of and give aces 1 power. And we'll draw another card here, which is a 0, which she can play. Gain 1 VP for each fanfare card in your discard, which there's not any. But what is a fanfare card? I guess that's exactly what this card is, right? Crowd roar, skill,
Yep.
fanfare. If you have
Yep.
if you
So
have a
Yep. So fanfare is a unique keyword for her. Or not keyword for it's a trait for her. And so as cards get discarded in, that fanfare will build up, and she will get bonuses for how many fanfares are in her discard pile.
That's really cool. I love the thematicness of that. Like yeah, as the game goes on and the crowd gets more pumped, she gets more pumped too. That's cool. But in this case, if you have a ferocity familiar with 1 or more friendly ally in its field, choose 1, shuffle it into your deck, and gain its power. Aces though is by himself. Okay, and then 1 more because she's still technically. So she can't play this one either, but it's a 1 cost, and she has not flipped yet. So, or in this version of the game, it's not flipped, so it does not get the effect of that one.
You would shuffle those 2 cards back in at the end of the round. That was her second card. At that point is when you would shuffle both of those cards in. That way you can't she wouldn't be able to get the exact same card again.
All right, so at
Okay.
this point, then she's hit her 2, so now she passes as well, and then we go to scoring phase.
Correct.
All right. So total power here, I've got the ranch and I've got the flower field meadow. So I'll get the 4 and 4, so I'll get 8, and then she will score the big windy plateau 5 in the middle. Then
Are you playing at a higher difficulty?
no.
Is Furion okay? Furion should not be flipped yet.
Oh, okay. Must
So
have been from when
this
we were
is
just going over it.
So in this familiar, when Valentina has 10 or more VP, did Aces win his field?
No, he did not.
Okay, so when this familiar, just look for those upgrades. So when this
Gotcha.
familiar wins a field, 10 VP as well.
Okay. So goes the 5, and then they retreat back to the bench like normal. Okay. And then so I'll draw 3 cards, and then she'll draw 2.
Correct.
There we go.
And in the physical version or in the mod, it doesn't matter when. You can do this now, or you can wait till the deployment phase, but you will put those 2 cards back on her deployment deck, and you'll give that a shuffle as well.
Ah,
These over
okay.
here. So that way you'll never know exactly where they're going to be deployed.
Fair. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my Chrism out over here, just like I did the first round. And then, so we'll draw for Furion first. So he'll go to field 1. And then I will deploy next. I will go to the far right again with my Infernander, so that way he's winning that field and he'll gain another. We'll put +2 in chat for turn 2. Okay, and then aces, pull for him. We'll go to field 3, which again won't trigger his debut because, well, it did the first time for Furion. So then, yeah, this time though, nothing. All right. Then we do resources. I'll throw out a strength training, and then we'll draw a random card from hers, which is that Unity Tactics, no support, so it'll go face down. This is weird. Like playing a game with myself is, yeah, definitely interesting. But I like, because I mean, people do this all the time, right? Where it's like, oh, I got 2 decks at home and I'm going to play them against each other. But like, how do you not have that like mental game of, do I make that inferior play, for the other deck, or what? But then this takes all that out of the question, basically. Judge deck. So Whistleblow. Field 3 is inactive this round. All right. Let's keep it simple here. Let's go strength training. I'm going to plop this Crochin down over here. So using its debut, ignoring block, we'll move opposing familiar. So I'm going to move that Furion all the way over here where this field is inactive this round. So I don't get the VP, but that is okay because we cleared out a lot of power. And then so it proceeds to her turn. So we'll go ahead and draw a card and attempt to play. We got another Crowd Roar. So speed on this one. If you are winning at least one field, gain 1 VP. Now the field doesn't have to be active. So
No. So if
okay.
she is winning, if she has more power than you do in any field.
Okay. I figured just make sense. Make double sure. All right. So she'll gain 1 VP off of that. And then so it will spend herself, because you always spend herself first. All right. And then speed, so she goes again. Another 1 cost. Cumulipede. Play to the highest value active field without aces. Interesting. All right. So that's going to be the center Windy Plateau. And then debut, return a 2 cost or less cost opposing ally to its owner's hand. If there are none in this field, gain 1 VP. Oh, wow. Really adding up there. 2 cost or less. So there are 2 in different fields.
You would choose. So if there's anytime there's a tie, you'll choose.
Okay.
So you'll return a 2 cost card or less.
All right. I'll take this Crochin back then, because That's a good effect, and it's an inactive field. All right. But she does gain the 1 VP, though, because it wasn't in this field. So, wow. Brutal. All right, and do need to tap that resource over there. So then back to my turn. You know what? I'm going to flip my inspiration here and move my Infernander to the middle. Okay, and then back to her turn. All right, there's that Unity Tactics again. She cannot play because she's out of resources. So then we'll use her. She'll use her skill here. Give the lowest power creature +1 power. All right, and that's going to be the Cumulipede there. So +1 Cumulipede. Boom. All right, and then back to me again. Man, so wild. All right, let's go. Let's spin 2 here. We're going to drop a giant growth on our Infernander. It has speed. Draw 2 cards and choose a friendly familiar till the end of this round. Opponents have -1 space in their field. When scoring this round, they have +6 power. So that'll put us up to an 11 versus their 9. And we draw 2. Okay, back to her. A 2, which again, she cannot play. So move Valentina's highest power creature from an inactive field to the highest value active field. So then we'll move Furion over here to the middle. So she's once again winning. Okay, and then... All right, so... Now, so I just hit the 2, right? So does that immediately end? Or will it have to go back to her a second, like after this, for her to pass?
That would be her. So then she would pass when she would go to reveal another card. So um, once she has revealed that, then she would pass.
Okay, so now she has passed, so then these cards will go back to her hand. I've got 6 + 6, so I've got 12 power here in the middle, and she has 14. Yeah, then that'll be it, and it'll proceed to end a round. So I'll win field 1 again. I'll get a bonus VP because I'm winning by 4 or more power. So I'll get 5, and she will get 5 for winning the middle. So another question for you then. So what if a field is full, right? How does the interactions work then with their cards? Say this field 2 is full, right? And I draw one of the cards from the deck that says put them in field 2.
Oh, you reveal another card.
Okay. And what about like cards from her hand, right? So like this Cumulipede, play this card to the highest value active field without aces, right? So wait, what if there were 2? Or what if the highest active, the qualifying field is full? Do I just choose then where it goes?
So if you cannot do the play effect, then it would be considered you would not be able to play it, and that would go back to her card as being a card that she could not play.
Oh, okay. I see. So
It's not that she can't pay for it. It's if revealed and you cannot play it for whatever reason. Most time, 90% of the time, it's going to be because of resources. But if for some reason you were to again play a card and it cannot functionally play, that would be one of her face-up cards, and then you would look at her creativity, and then um, you would trigger that effect.
all right. And so then at this point, Furion would flip because the VP has hit that threshold, making his ongoing more powerful. And Ed, do you flip Valentina at any point during a game, or is that only at when you're setting up the game, choosing the power level?
The ranch is how she flips. So if Valentina won this village, you would flip her, and then she would gain one
Okay.
BP as well. So if she was winning, so it's if you, so that is Valentina as well. The ranch could score her 6 points
Wow.
if you
Okay.
just completely ignore it. And she's winning by 4 points, and she wins that, she would gain 6 points for that.
Dang. Okay. And once they flip, they can't like flip again to their lower level side, right?
Correct. There is no effect that allows them to flip back.
Okay. And so she could only ever gain that one extra VP one time then. Well, I
No,
guess
and
not. Yeah,
not
it
not
says yeah, it
no,
says
it's
and.
and not
Yeah.
gain. Yep.
Yeah.
So she
Okay.
would not flip.
But she would still gain
She
that
would not.
VP.
Correct.
And yeah, so then you just kind of proceed, keep going back and forth until your standard game is over with. So that's very cool. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point to stop. If you guys have any other questions that I might have missed asking, please put them in the comment section below. I'm talking to these guys all the time, so I'll be happy to get any kind of answers that you guys might have and reply to those comments as fast as I can. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Gareth, thank you for walking me through this. Definitely appreciated having you here to show me and answer all my oddball questions and everything like that. So that's really, really nice.
Absolutely.
Really excited to get this. Awesome that this will be available in the January 7th Kickstarter. So can't wait to get my hands on one of these. And so right out the gate, day one, as soon as I get my cards in the mail, I can immediately play a game. I don't have to like track down anybody else to play with or get a webcam game in or anything like that. I can immediately play day one. So yeah, that's great. As always, you can find the link to the standard 1v1 as well as this 1v AI game mode. You can find this in their Discord. I've got link in the description below down there, or in a pinned comment, one of the two. So make sure you check that out. And thanks for watching.